Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in to Core Yoga today. My name is Erica and I'm with UMBC Recreation. If you're new to this class or you've never taken yoga before, it's structured much like other exercise classes. We start with a slow warm-up, we bring some attention to our breath. Then we move into the bulk of our practice where we pick up our pace, we start to target our core, pick up our heart rate. We end the class, we start to wind down with a cool down. We finish on our back in a final resting period where we remain still for about 2 to 3 minutes and give time for our body to absorb the benefits of the class and, more importantly, a time for self-reflection. Even though this class is a little more fun and upbeat than my vinyasa that I teach, it is still a yoga practice, so we have to give respect for our bodies in the practice and take that time to self-reflect. Yoga is not just about the physical stretching, is also about what's going on the inside. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone to always listen to your body. Take breaks if you need to, modify poses so they feel good in your body. If something does not feel right, don't feel obligated to put your body in a shape. And always talk with a doctor before you start a new exercise regimen. So with that out of the way, we're going to get started today laying flat on our back. So you can start in a seated position with your knees bent, flat on the mat. Place your hands on the back side of your thighs and then roll down until you're flat on your back. Separate the feet to mat with distance apart. Let the knees fall together and place your arms out wide at your sides, palms face up. And we're going to start right here on our back, focusing on our breath. Following the rise and the fall of your chest. Noticing the little movements the body makes as you draw breath into the body and the movements you make as we release the breath from the body. And start to deepen the breath, breathing in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. And take a few more rounds of breath just like this. Imagining that as you exhale, you relax onto the mat a little more. Straighten both legs onto the mat. Draw right knee into the chest for Abhanasana. Fingers interlace and hold on below the knee. Gently pulling thigh close to body. Feet are flexed. And we'll breathe here. Low back presses down towards the floor. If you feel any discomfort on your knee for any reason, you can hold on to the back of your thigh instead. This pose is great for reducing tension in the low back. Gently release your hold, returning leg to the mat. Left knee draws into the chest, Abhanasana, feet are flexed, thigh close to body. Deepen the breath. And release, leg returns to mat. Draw both knees into your chest to finish Abhanasana, feet side by side, again holding on below the knees or on the back of the thighs. And taking a few breaths here. Breathing into the sides of the body. Now keep the knees drawn in towards the chest, but release your arms down towards the floor into a T-shape, palms face up towards the ceiling. A few inches at a time, we'll let the knees fall to the right, just a little bit until we feel the core activate. Press the belly down towards the mat, then draw knees back into center. So you don't need much. You want to be careful not to disturb your low back. Just move the knees over enough to feel your core start to engage. So let the knees fall to the left now. Just a few inches will do. If you move nice and slow, it's easy to catch. Belly presses down towards the floor and knees back to center. We're going to do that a few times. Let knees fall a few inches to right. Hold for a few breaths. And knees to center. Over to left. Find the hold. Don't hold the breath. And knees to center. One last time, just waking up the core, knees over to right, into center, over to the left, finish up, find the hold, and knees back to center. Knees fall back to the right this time, all the way into reclined spinal twist. So knees might touch all the way down towards the floor. We want to find some ease in this first twist. So lower the knees a little lower than hip height. Head turns to the left. Deepening the breath, stretching out our core. Draw both knees back to center. Let them fall over to the left. Head turns to the right. And lower the knees below the hips. Draw knees back into center. Place your hands on the back side of your thighs. Start to rock forwards and backwards until you can gain enough momentum to rock yourself up to seated. Sitting in the middle of your mat, lengthen the legs onto the mat. Bend just the right knee, placing foot to mat, and let the knee fall out towards the floor. Slight bend in the extended leg, heel to mat, and foot is flexed. Lift both arms overhead. And as we exhale, we'll find the fold into Janu Shirshasana. Belly comes down to thighs, arms fall down at your sides, and head looks down towards the leg. Draw the belly in and send your chest forward. Nice long spines as we get a stretch on the back side of the leg. If you're not feeling enough of a stretch and sensation in the left leg, you can inch the heel forward just a little bit. Don't lose contact of belly and thigh, and keep the chest sending forward. That helps protect the low back. We'll slowly rise up and switch sides. Start with both legs extended. Left knee bends, foot to mat. Let the knee fall to the floor. Slight bend in the right leg. Foot is flexed. Lift both arms overhead and find the fold, belly to thighs. And take a few breaths here as we're relieving stiffness in the legs. Still nice slow movements for our warm-up. Rise up to seated and straighten the legs once again. Swing the legs behind you, coming into tabletop on our hands and our knees, wrists stacked under shoulders and knees stacked under the hips. Tops of feet to mat. Round the spine into cat pose, drawing belly into spine, tucking chin to chest. Then release, returning to tabletop. Now arching to cow, lifting and arching the spine, letting belly hang to the floor, gaze up to the ceiling. 2 more times, rounding the spine, tucking chin to chest, drawing belly in. Nice and slowly lift and arch into cow, let the belly hang. Last time, chin to chest, belly draws in. Lift and arch, let the belly hang, and return to tabletop. Extend the right leg behind you, flexing the foot so toes face down towards the floor, heels in line with hip. Draw the belly in to flatten the back, and extend the left arm forward into sunbird, thumb face up towards the ceiling. Gaze is down towards the mat. Not only are we working on our balance, but we're strengthening our core. And if you're pretty wobbly, no worries. Just know that your body is working, you're strengthening. Don't hold the breath. Keep the leg in the air, but bring hand to mat and lift up to the tips of your fingers. Now point through the right toe and give me a crunch, drawing knee to chest, rounding spine, pulling belly in nice and high. Extend the leg for me one more time so we can just get a feel for that again. We're gonna crunch, knee to chest, draw belly in, round spine, lift knee nice and high, then step or place the foot into lunge. Ankle is below knee, foot between the hands. Slowly lift both arms overhead, and we'll hold for a few breaths here. Relax shoulders down the back. Send the tailbone long to the floor, draw belly in, lift through the chest. Nice deep breaths. In through nose, out through mouth. On your next exhale, fingertips come down to the floor. Extend your right leg behind you, point through the toes, keep that leg active, then return to tabletop. hands flat to mat. Left leg extends, flexing the foot, heel in line with hip. Draw belly in, flatten back. Extend right arm forward into sunbird, and we're holding here. Gaze is down towards the floor. Don't hold the breath. Lengthen out through the crown of your head and out through your left heel. Just the hand comes down to the mat and lift up to the tips of the fingers. Start to point through the left toes. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, round the spine, pull belly in, lift knee nice and high, and extend. One more time. Knee to chest as you exhale, drawing the belly in, lifting knee high, rounding the spine, stepping or placing the foot into lunge. Slowly lift both arms overhead, and we'll hold here. Left knee is right over the ankle. Tailbone long to the floor. Extend long out through the crown of your head. Relax shoulders away from your ears. Take a few breaths here. On your next exhale, fingertips come down towards the floor. Extend your left leg behind you, point through the toes, keep that leg active, then return to a tabletop position, knees to mat. Lower down to puppy pose, elbow to mat, stacked right under the shoulders, palms face down towards the floor, and let the head relax, so head hangs heavy. And just focus on the breath here, getting a nice length in the spine, taking a quick rest before we finish our warm-up. If you'd like to settle into child's pose, bring the big toes together, send the hips all the way down to the heels, and rest forehead to mat. So try both out, see what works better for you, which pose you're more comfortable in. And one of those poses will be your rest position through the class. So find one, and we'll take a moment of stillness there. Just focus on your breath and appreciate this moment of stillness before we work into our practice. Nice deep breaths. Slowly make your way back to a tabletop position and lift up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your left leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, round the spine, belly high, step or place the foot into lunge. Right toes tuck onto the mat. We're going to lift the right knee into the air, lifting up to the pointer and middle finger, sending chest forward, drawing belly in. Step up to half lift, right foot steps up to the top of the mat, flatten the back till it's parallel to floor, hands to shins. Nice lengthening in the spine, so gaze is down towards the floor, shoulders draw away from your ears. Lower to forward fold, gently bend the knees, drop your belly down to your thighs, let arms and head hang heavy. Crown of the head reaches to the floor, low belly draws in as hips reach to the ceiling. One vertebrae at a time, we'll round our spine up to a standing position, taking your time, lifting your chin from the chest, very last. So now we're going to move into the bulk of our practice. So I start by demoing our plank sequence. Every week there is a new plank sequence. So I demo first, and then we tie it into the practice together. So of course, like I said, we're going to start in a plank position. Even if you've done plank 1,000 times, I want you to check your alignment the first time through. So in plank, fingers are spread nice and wide. Wrists are stacked right underneath the shoulders. You're going to step both feet back. Your heels should be in line with your hips, in line with your shoulders. So you don't want hips down low, and you don't want your hips up too high. So just take a quick look back and check alignment. We're going to start right here, starting with side step. So right foot steps off the mat and steps back on. Left foot steps off and steps on. We'll do that 3 times. So side step, side step, side step, side step. One more time. After that, we're going to lower down to a tabletop position, knees to mat. Extending into sunbird, so right leg, left arm. We'll pause, and we'll take 2 crunches. Knee meets the elbow, and we'll extend. Knee meets the elbow, and extend. And we'll do the same on the opposite side. 2 crunches. After that, we're gonna lower down to our belly and we'll finish there. So we're gonna tie that into our sequence. We're gonna start at the top of our mat with our feet hips-width distance apart. Stand nice and tall with purpose at the top of your mat, sending your chest forward, relaxing shoulders down the back. Slowly lift both arms overhead, gazes up towards the ceiling, then lower back to forward fold. Hands come together as you hinge at the hips, dropping belly to thighs, letting arms and head hang heavy. Rise to half lift, flattening your back. Then step into your plank position. We'll start our first set in 3, 2, 1. Side step, side step, side step, and side step. One more time, and find your tabletop position. Right leg extends, flex the foot, left arm forward, take a pause here. Give me a crunch on the exhale, elbow to knee, inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch, inhale to extend, return to tabletop. Left leg extends and right arm forward, draw that belly in, flatten your back. Exhale to crunch, inhale. Exhale, inhale, return to tabletop. Lower all the way down to your belly, all the way flat. Elbows up towards the ceiling, hands under shoulders. Lift the chest to baby cobra, shoulders wrapping behind the heart, using the strength of your core to hold you up, no pressure in the hands. Then we press to our rest position, choosing either puppy, elbows to mat, or child's, hips to heels. Take a quick moment of stillness here in your rest position. We're going to shorten these rests each time as we go through, so take advantage of the stillness and deepen the breath. Slowly rise back to tabletop and lift up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your right leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, round the spine. I cannot say spine today. Step or place your right foot into lunge. Left toes tuck onto the mat. Lift the knee in the air, lifting up to pointer and middle finger, chest sends forward. Step up to half lift, flatten the back, lengthen the spine. Lower to forward fold, belly to thighs, arms and head hang. And we round the spine up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. We're going to do that 2 more times through. Lift the arms overhead, gaze up to ceiling, and lower to forward fold, belly to thighs. Rise half lift, flatten the back. Step back into plank, and we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. 3 side steps. Side step, side step, side step, and side step. Find your tabletop. Right leg extends, left arm extends. Give me a crunch. Exhale, inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch. Inhale, and return to tabletop. Left leg extends, right arm forward. Give me a crunch. Extend. Crunch. Extend. Return to tabletop. Make your way all the way down to your belly, however you can get there. And we'll lift our chest to baby cobra, shoulders behind the heart. Then press to your rest position, puppy pose, or child's. Deepen the breath. Slowly rise to tabletop. Lift up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your left leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Knee to chest, round the spine, and step the foot into lunge. Step up to half lift. Right knee lifts off the mat, hands to shins, back is flat. Lower to fold, belly to thighs, and slowly rise up to standing. One last time through. Deep breath in to lift the arms overhead. Slow exhale as we lower to forward fold. Belly falls down to thighs. Inhale as we rise, half lift. Exhale as you step back into plank and resume your normal breath. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Side step, side step. Keep it going. We've got one more. Find your tabletop position. Right leg extends. Left arm extends. Exhale to crunch. Straighten. Exhale to crunch. Straighten. Meet in tabletop. Left leg, right arm. Give me a crunch and lengthen. Crunch and lengthen. Return to tabletop. All the way down to the belly. Use your inhale to lift your chest, baby cobra, and your exhale to find your rest position. Slowly rise right back to tabletop, hands in the knees. If you're feeling any discomfort in your wrists from the planks, you're more than welcome to take them on your fists, thumbs facing in towards one another. Just gives a little ease to the wrist if you're feeling any discomfort there. Lift up to the tips of your fingers and extend your right leg behind you, point through the toes. Crunch knee to chest, round the spine, get the foot into lunge, and slowly step up to half lift, back is flat. Lower to fold, belly to thighs, and slowly rise up to standing. Take your time. This is your time to slow the movement down as you feel the stretch through the spine. And we'll make it all the way to standing. Again, arms lift overhead, switching it up a little this time. And lowering to fold, belly to thighs. Rise, half lift, flatten your back. And step your right foot back into lunge, bringing fingertips to floor, framing the forward foot. Left knee is stacked right over the ankle. You're on the ball of the right foot. Bring your hands to your thighs, extend your spine up towards the ceiling and lift both arms overhead. And breathe here. Pressing firmly out through the right heel. Left knee is still right over left ankle. If you're feeling some intense sensation in the right leg, a slight bend in the knee will find some ease for you. Open to 5-pointed star, facing the right side of the mat. Feet come flat and lower arms to shoulder height. Feet are facing forward towards the long edge of your mat. Bring hands to hips and stand nice and tall. Send tailbone long to the floor and engage your core. Start to hinge from the hips, bringing chest parallel to floor. Engaging the thigh muscles, feel the muscles around the kneecaps lift. If you're feeling sensations, tight sensations in the legs already, put a slight bend in the knee and we'll all shift the weight towards the balls of the feet. Lower your hands down, fingertips to floor, and we're gonna hold here. Weight is shifting forward, but heels stay on the floor and gaze is down between the hands. We're gonna hold this pose just like this. Stretching the legs, but lengthening the spine, and core is slightly engaged. Draw shoulders away from the ears. Turn the left foot forward to face the front of the mat and walk your hands back into lunge, framing the forward foot, right heel lifts off the mat. Step back into a plank position and we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Side step, side step, side step, side step, side step, and side step. Meet in tabletop. Right leg extends, left arm. Give me a crunch, lengthen, crunch, lengthen, tabletop position. Left leg extends, right arm forward. Give me a crunch and extend, crunch and extend, back to tabletop. All the way down to our bellies flat to mat. Breathe in to lift the chest, baby cobra, and exhale to your rest position. Taking a moment of stillness here. A little longer of a break than the last time. Deepen your breath. And try to find some comfort in this rest position. Take advantage of this moment of stillness. Slowly make your way back to tabletop. Lift up to the tips of the fingers. Left leg extends behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me a crunch into a lunge position and step up to half lift. Back is flat. Lower to fold, belly meets the thighs, and slowly rise up, one vertebrae at a time, till you're all the way at standing. Same thing, opposite side, arms lift overhead. And as we exhale, we'll find a forward fold, belly to thighs. Rise, half lift. Step your left foot back into lunge, fingertips down towards the floor, right knee right over the ankle. Hands come up to the thighs and we'll extend the arms overhead. Deep breaths into the chest here. Left glute is nice and active, pressing out through left heel. Open a 5-pointed star facing the left side of the mat, feet forward and arms at shoulder height. Stay right where you are. I'm just going to turn around so my back is not to you. And lower your hands down to your hips. Send the tailbone long to the floor. Engage your core now. Hinge forward at the hips until chest is parallel with floor. Shifting weight to the balls of the feet, bending the knees a bit if you need. Then fingertips come down directly in front of you and we'll hold here. This time, gaze between the feet, extending the crown of your head long towards the floor, drawing back on the shoulders. Low belly is drawing in. Right foot turns to face the front of the mat as we walk our hands into lunge. Left heel lifts off the mat. Step back into your plank position and we'll take our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Side steps. Here's 2. Here's 3. Find your tabletop position. Right leg extends. Left arm extends. Give me a crunch. Lengthen. Crunch. Lengthen. Find your tabletop position. Left leg, right arm. Give me a crunch. Straighten. Crunch. Straighten, find your tabletop position. All the way down to the belly. Lift your chest, baby cobra, deep breath in, and exhale to your rest position. Deep in the breath. Slowly rise back to tabletop, lift up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your right leg behind you, pointing the toes. Give me a crunch into a lunge position. And meet me in half lift. Back is flat, hands to shins. Lower to fold, belly meets the thighs. And we're going to take a few breaths here, helping to lengthen the spine. Head hangs heavy. Again, weight is in the balls of the feet, but heels remain on the floor. Draw low belly in and send the chest forward, lengthening the spine. Head hangs heavy. Shake the head a few times, yes and no. Tuck your chin into your chest and slowly round the spine up to standing. A little slower than we've done before. Chin comes up last. Take both hands to your heart, lower chin back to your chest. You can either close the eyes or keep your gaze focused on the spot on the floor. Just take a few minutes to bring some attention to your body. Feel the rate of your heart. Pace of your breath, and how you feel in your body. Lower your arms down at your sides. Inhale as you lift the arms out at your sides and up overhead. Exhale to forward fold, belly comes down to the thighs. And try to draw the inhale out as you slowly round the spine back to standing. And exhale at the top. Again, deep breath in, arms out and up overhead. Exhale to fold, belly falls down to thighs. Inhale as you rise to standing, nice and slow. And exhale at the top. For this last time, I invite you to try with your eyes closed, bringing more awareness to your body. Deep breath in as arms rise overhead. Slow exhale out as you lower to forward folds, belly meets the thighs. Inhaling to half lift this time, flattening the back. Opening the eyes if they were closed and stepping back into your plank position. We'll start our last set of plank work in 3, 2, 1. Side step, side step. Keep it going. Here's 3. Meet in tabletop. Right leg extends, left arm extends. Give me a crunch. Give me a crunch. Meet in tabletop. Left leg extends, right arm is forward. Give me a crunch. Last time, crunch. Meet in tabletop. Round the spine to cat pose, tuck chin to chest, draw belly in and hold it here. Don't hold the breath. Slowly lift and arch to cow pose, let the belly hang, hold it here. And return to a neutral tabletop position. Meet on your bellies once again, this time lowering your arms along the sides of your body, palms space up, turning your head to one side so you can rest on your cheek. Bring big toes to touch and let the heels fall away to either side of the mat. Wiggle shoulders away from the ears, help to lengthen the neck. And on your next exhale, relax, let everything go onto the floor. Slowly turn your head to the opposite side, taking a moment of stillness on that side as well. Now bring your chin to the mat. And place your arms underneath your head for support like a pillow, elbows bent. Bend the knees so toes are up towards the ceiling, nice and slow. We'll windshield wiper the feet, letting them fall side to side, breaking up any tension we might have built in our low backs, helping to relieve any tension down there. Then return your legs to the mat. Right knee moves into frog pose. So we'll bend the knee, keeping it tracking along the floor. The more we lift the knee up towards the face and away from the body, the more sensation we're going to feel in your hips. So it's up to you how much or how little sensation you would like to create. Chin can stay on the arms, or you can turn your head one side or the other, whatever feels most comfortable for you. We're going to hang out in this pose for about 25 seconds on each side. We want to slow down our practice, bring our attention back to our breath. And while we're doing so, we're relieving tension in our hips. Our bodies tend to hold a lot of stress in the hips. And so we're helping our body relieve that tension that we might not even know we're holding. Slowly straighten the leg and switch sides. So left knee bends this time, lifting as high as you like. If you had your head turned to one side, I ask you to turn it to the other side. Focus returns to the breath. Straighten the leg, return hands underneath the shoulders, elbows up to ceiling, and press yourself one last time into your rest position. Whether that's puppy or child's, it's up to you. If you're in child's, I encourage you to try a rounded version of this pose. Arms along the sides of the body, palms face up, and forehead to mat. Take a few more rounds of breath here. Slowly start to rise up into a seated position, sitting in the center of your mat with your legs extended out in front of you, with the feet flexed. Lift both arms overhead, lower chin to chest, and round the spine into rounded back stretch, placing hands on the knees, thumbs facing in towards each other, elbows pointing out to either side of the mat. Melt the shoulders away from the ears and take a few deep breaths here as we relieve tension around the spine. Nice, deep, steady breaths here. If you find that that seems a little impossible, ease out of the pose just a bit until you can breathe a little more deeply. Slowly start to straighten the spine, placing your hands on either sides of your hips into staff pose, finding length through the spine, out through the crown of your head, then relax to a neutral position. Bend the right knee, placing your foot on the mat. Left arm's gonna hold on to the bent knee. We open into spinal twist, so we twist our belly, place our right hand directly behind us, and gaze over our right shoulder. Left foot is flexed, and spine stays long to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, unwind and return to center, straightening both legs down the length of the mat. Left knee bends, foot to mat. Right arm holds on this time as we open the spinal twist, left hand directly behind us. Take a few breaths here. Take a deep breath in through your nose. As you exhale, unwind, return to center, and straighten both legs down the length of your mat. Draw both knees in towards the chest, feet flat to the floor. If you're not already sitting in the center of your mat, make your way there now. Place your hands on the back of your thighs, send your chest forward, belly coming closer contact with the thighs. And we'll lift up to our tippy toes. So if you're pooped and you don't want much more core work, you can hold right here, relax shoulders away from your ears, drawing belly in. If you like a little more, we're gonna step the feet in a little closer to the body and lift the feet off the mat, making sure we're balancing on our sits bones and not our tailbone. Lift the heels in line with the knees and keep the chest lifting forward. We're gonna hold here, don't hold the breath. If you feel like it's too much, you can bring the tips of the toes back down to the mat. And if you feel like it's not enough, you can lift your arms out at your sides, palms face up towards the ceiling. Keep the lift in the chest, don't hold the breath. Another 10 seconds or so here. Last bit of core work. If your arms are out, bring hands to the back of the thighs. If feet are off the mat, we'll lower feet down to floor. And then walk the feet out away from the body. Slowly roll down until you're flat on your back. Separate your feet to mat width distance apart and let the knees fall together, taking a short moment of stillness here. Arms can be wherever comfortable, out at your sides, on your belly, whatever feels good for you. And bring your attention back to your breath. Straighten your legs down the length of your mat. Draw your right knee in towards your chest into Abhanasana, holding on below the knee, feet are flexed. Thigh close to body. Gently release, returning leg to mat. Left knee draws in, Abhanasana, feet flex, thigh close to body. Low back sinking into the floor. And we release. Now both knees draw in, feet side by side, holding on below the knees or on the back of the thighs, whatever is most comfortable for your body. And take a few rounds of breath here. Keep knees drawn in towards your chest, but release arms down to the floor at shoulder height, palms face up. Let the knees fall just a few inches to the right. Pause so we can engage our core. Knees back to center and over to the left. So we're going to keep with this for just a little bit, just coming full circle from our beginning of our practice. Let the knees fall side to side, engage the core. And if you want to skip this last bit of core work, or very last bit, I promise, you're more than welcome to keep knees drawn in towards the center of the chest. And just hold still. Now everyone, let knees fall all the way to the right into reclined spinal twist. This time knees can be in line with the hips. Turn your head to the left, lower left shoulder to the floor. And deepen the breath. Our last pose before our final resting pose. Close the eyes now if you're comfortable doing so. Help prepare the body for stillness. Draw knees up through center, let them fall over to the left. Turn head to right. Right shoulder presses down towards the floor. Excuse me. Slowly draw the knees to the center of your chest and wrap your arms around your legs one final time. Slowly lift your head to meet your knees. Take a nice deep breath in, hold it at the top, squeeze everything nice and tight, your toes, your hands, muscles in the face, legs, arms, everything. And as you exhale out through the mouth, we'll relax and lay flat on the mat, separating our legs and arms nice and wide. Take up space, palms face up, toes fall out to either side of the room, and eyes are closed. Take a deep breath in through your nose. As you exhale out through the mouth, let go, relax completely onto the floor. Let everything go, body melts down onto the mat. And again, focus comes back to the breath. As we're breathing in, Imagine we're breathing in positive energy, things that will help motivate us, push us forward in our lives. And as we exhale, imagine you're releasing things that no longer serve you. Hesitations, doubts, all leave the body as the breath leaves the body. If your focus has wandered, bring your attention back to your breath. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Welcome movement back into your body. Slowly roll over to the right side of your body, taking a moment of stillness on your side. Perhaps using your arm to support your head if you like. Now keeping the gaze low to the floor, or the eyes can remain closed, you're going to press yourself up into any comfortable seated position. And take your time, there is no rush. As always, to end class, we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together as one. That's breathing in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. We're going to take a 3-part breath today. So we'll break the inhale into 3 parts, filling belly, ribs, and chest. We'll exhale in 3 parts from chest, from ribs, and then belly. Today we're going to place one hand on our chest, one hand on our stomachs. Let's all start on an exhale, releasing all the breath we have out of the body. Breathe in through the nose to fill the belly, to fill the ribs, to fill the chest. Exhale out the mouth from the chest, from the ribs, and from the belly. Breath in for 2, into belly, into ribs, into chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Last time, filling the belly with as much breath as we can, filling the ribs, filling the chest, exhaling from chest, from ribs, and from belly. Take a moment to thank your body for your patience in this practice. I'd like to thank you for letting me lead you on this practice. There is a light that exists within me that honors the light that exists within you. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. If you enjoyed this class, I hope to see you again next week. If you'd like something a little easier on your body, I teach a Vinyasa yoga class that airs a little earlier in the week. I encourage you to try that class out as well. If you have questions, comments, concerns, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. I hope to see you next time and have a great rest of your day.